Hey everyone, welcome to another video on the Blue Abroad YouTube channel. We're going to get stuck into previews, season 2024 previews for players on the list. And it's always good to start with Jack Silvagni. It's the way it's been since the beginning of these previews. So let's do it. Jack Silvagni, 115 games. He's coming off a 2023 campaign where he played 16. And he finds himself in this spot in his career where he is at his best, in the best 22. He doesn't seem to have a position, and I think that's what makes Jack Silvagni him. He's a third string forward for some who pinch hits in the ruck. He then pretty quickly becomes a second ruckman if needed. And then at times he becomes a spare defender. And I think for all the talk about Jack and where is his position and has he locked it down, I think that's what makes him so unique. He is the definition of a utility. So I feel like with Jack, the conversation will move away as we get further into his career, away from what is he, and we will just accept that this is what he does. He does everything the team needs. That's always been his attitude. One of the things about Jack that has always come through is, that desire. Now, all players have desire and effort and hunger, but Jack just seems to do it in a way that stands out more than others to me. His tackling numbers are always good. They were actually rated elite in season 2023. I think the key thing for Jack for season 24 is, can we get some more scoreboard pressure from him? His greatest goal tally in a season was actually 2017. He kicked 19 goals from 20 games. 2022 kicked 17 goals, and then 2023 kicked 14 goals. And I feel like we've got the top-end goal kickers in Charlie and Harry, and I don't think we need big goal numbers from Jack, but I think in order for him to really lock himself and solidify himself in the side, I don't think it's unreasonable to look at him over the course of a year and say, this is a guy that's capable of kicking 20, 25 goals in a season. And I think there's probably a few spots in that forward line where if we get more production from a goal point of view, I think we'll elevate as a team. And I think Jack's one of those players that is certainly capable. I think the fact that now he's entering this, the reality is Jack's in that almost the second half of his career, if not already. We've been with Jack in that 2015 draft for a long time now. It's good. And you see the development in him, in the body, in his consistency. He's a man now, figuratively speaking, and I think in AFL terms as well, his body's ready to stand up to the rigours. Now, it always seems to be, not always, but often, there have been times in his career where he'll hit his straps, get hurt, and then just kind of be back and forth in and out of the side. 23 was no different. I felt like he just seemed to get injured at the wrong time of the year. It was so tough because a lot of them were out of form during the slump, and then the team got itself back into form. He was battling with form, and then his body started breaking down on him, hurt himself, just couldn't get right. By the time he got back to full training, I don't think he was ready to be selected, or he just wasn't there to be selected for the big finals. And that was something I was disappointed in for him, and I'm sure that would have hurt him as well, because we've seen how much Carlton means to him. He speaks about it all the time, and I think being the inner Carlton man that he is, the generational Carlton man that he is, I think not being able to play in those 2 finals or 3 finals would definitely eat at him, and I think that will serve as motivation. This is a team now that's in the window, so I think there's a little added bit of motivation. That's something I can probably pinpoint for him for this off-season. But I feel like he's just got to raise the bar in the sense of his consistency, hit the scoreboard a little bit more. Really, he'll do what the team needs, and that is what the beauty of him is. And I think there was something telling when he did his interview with Dill Buckley on Dill and Friends, where Dill sort of pulled him up on the language he was using when talking about himself. I mean, he may have just been in a situation where you're being filmed, you don't want to be arrogant, you want to be humble. And I just wonder if he's gone from really wanting to make a name for himself, and rather than living in the shadow of his dad, Steve, and Nonno, Serge, he's Jack. And I feel like at some point in this next period of time with him, he's going to need to really own who he is, and to the point where he's got so much confidence in himself to say, no, I'm actually a really good player here, and I can lock myself in the 22 and dream big. And I think in order to be the best, you kind of got to believe it before it happens. And that's the curious part about me. Like, he's so humble when he talks about himself and the team, but I feel like with any competitor, with any athlete, that competitive drive is there. Like, it's there internally, and maybe it's a culture thing here. You don't talk too much about your inner confidence because you've got that tall poppy syndrome out in society. But I would like to see him playing with a bit more assertiveness, a bit more confidence. The team is more settled. He seems to be a bit more settled now, and that's what I look at for Jack Silvagni in season 2024. What about you? How do you see Jack's 24 incoming? Do you think he's part of the 22, the best 22, if everybody was healthy? Let me know what your thoughts are about Jack as we head into season 2024.